It's springtime here in Ohio. Well, almost. So we get days that are 70 degrees, we get days that are 40 degrees, but we're close. We're getting very, very close. So it's getting exciting. It's getting time where we can start getting outside and working on our lawns again. Now, here in Northern Ohio, we had a really, really rough winter. We had a lot of snow, we had a lot of ice, we had a lot of just moisture and cold temperatures and things that really, really impacted our grass. So I'm going to take you around today and show you a little bit of that. But what I really want to do here before the season starts is test my soil. So we get a lot of questions on why conduct a soil test, what exactly does that tell us, how often should we, and do all those. So I'm hoping to answer some of those for you here today. So we have our soil test kit here, and we'll go through it in a minute. But before we do, really wanted to talk a little bit about just why you would do a soil test kit to begin with. So if you don't know what the nutrients are in your soil, you probably want to establish a baseline. Now, most turf is going to take kind of a 4-1-2 on the macronutrients, but I don't know what my micronutrients are. I don't know what my pH level is. And all of those things are really going to help us to determine what NPK ratio we should be putting down. How much do we need micronutrients? Do I need to change some of my pH? Is it too high? Is it too low? What exactly do I need to do to my soil? So this test kit, really simple, and that's going to tell us everything that we need to know. So come along with me today and we'll get into this. So I've got my bucket, borrowing it from one of my kids, Peppa Pig, not affiliated with the Andersons, but if you have little kids, you know what I'm talking about. So a couple of things. So as you can see, obviously, as I mentioned before, we had a really, really rough winter here in Ohio. So I've got a lot of thatch. I'm going to have to dethatch here at some point. But I really want to see today is what nutrients I really should be putting down. So again, collecting my soil for my soil test. I don't know if you can tell or not, my yard, it has a slight downward slope from where the house is down to the back of the yard. And when you're collecting soil samples, you really just want to try to get as many as you can to kind of even out where those nutrients might be. So I'm going to take a sample from up here. I'm going to take a sample from down in the back. I'm going to take a sample from each side. I got my sample there. So we'll add that to the bucket. So another thing, reasons why you might be taking some soil samples is you can see I've got a couple patches here where I'm going to need to plant some grass. And I really want to know, especially in some of these patches, what the nutrient level might be, especially when it comes to phosphorus for root development or pH for nutrient uptake. Really want to get some of those. So that might be another reason why you want to take a soil test, is in the spots if you're going to be doing any reseeding. So on the side, I've also got kind of a little slant here. So we'll just take a sample here. All right, so we've got our soil test kit here. When you first open it up, what you're gonna notice is this little card. This is important, you wanna keep this. This is your kit registration so that you can see your results once you send them in. So if you take a look at this, there's a website here, there's also a QR code. You're gonna wanna go online, you're gonna wanna register your kit. Here's your kit number right here. It also gives you tips on how to conduct a good soil sample. So you're going to want to conduct soil from 5 to 7 different locations throughout your testing area. You're going to want to go down about 6 inches. So the key to testing your soil is you've got to think about where the root zone is, because that's where the nutrients are going to be available to your grass. You want to combine the collected soil in a plastic bag or bucket, and you want to mix it, break up any large chunks, and then you want to take your sample from that. And then using the provided scoop, which we'll get to in a minute, you'll take a scoop of that mixed soil and add it to the jar containing the DI water. And then you'll want to securely tighten the lid, and don't dump the water out of the jar. You want to keep that water in the jar. After you do that, you'll want to mail your sample in. So every kit will have one of these little mailers. It already has the mailing label on that. So all you'll do is you'll put your sample in here, you'll seal it, and you'll drop that in the mailbox. Postage is already paid. If you want to, another tip is going to be to take a look at your tracking number here. You'll be able to track that to make sure or see how long it takes to get to our lab. Once it gets to our lab, it only takes about a week or two to get your test results, but you can track it along the way. Sometimes post office takes a little while. All right, so we've collected our samples. Gonna break these up a little bit, mix this up. Again, what you're really trying to do here is just kind of get a nice cross zone reference of what your soil is. Now, you can do multiple samples. Some people will go and only take samples from their backyard or their front yard, especially if either they have different grass types or different soils, or maybe they have different treatments that they've done on either the front or the back. So you can do that, but if you're just taking one sample, again, you want to kind of get a nice mix of different areas within your yard. So we'll mix all this together. Again, you want to break up any chunks. Don't want any rocks or any other things in there. So again, don't want to pour out this water or do anything to it. You just twist it off. You'll want to leave that as it is. We've got our little scoop here, so we can get some of this. We're just going to put that soil in there. So go ahead and kind of fill it up with however much really you can. Got that. Put this back on. Make sure that that's tight. That's going to have to survive wherever you're located to, going all the way back to Washington. So we have our sample filled up. We have our envelope. All we're going to do is stick that in there. Got a little peel here. We'll seal that up. Drop that in the mail. Again, you might want to save your tracking number here so you can track it on its way back. But then you'll want to keep this card. Again, you'll want to register your kit. There's your kit number. And then once it makes it back to our lab, 6 to 8 business days, so 1 to 2 weeks, you'll be able to go online and access your results. Now our soil test is complete. So a couple of other questions we get often is, how often should I actually conduct soil tests? So the answer will vary by person, but here in the spring, I'm going to do a baseline test, and then I'm going to do another test in the fall to kind of see what nutrients I put down, how much of those were actually kept in the soil, how much of those were uptake by my turf grass, and really kind of get a sense of, was I putting down enough nutrients? Was I putting down too much, too little? If I had to do any pH corrections, which I guess I'll know here once I get my results, did those take effect? So if you want to, a spring to get your baseline, and then a fall to see kind of what you did throughout the season, that's a good idea. Other people will maybe do it once every 2 or 3 years just to see how their soil and how their nutrient uptake is improving. Some of that will also depend on your soil type. Are you on clay? Are you on sand? If you are, and you're using a soil amendment like humic DG or biochar DG to amend your soil, that'll help your soil retain moisture and nutrients. So if you're starting to apply some of those substances, is it helping, and how much of your nutrients that you're putting down is it able to retain and make available to your grass? So there's a number of different variables. Again, give us a call or send us an email. We're willing to walk through any of those with you. But ultimately, we really want to see, I want to see for myself, what are my nutrients here going into the spring? What does my grass need, and what are the amounts that are needed to put it in?